This video is part of my series showing you how to use OMG cables to hack networks. In this first video, I'm going to show you how to hack an Android phone as well as an iOS device, in this case an iPad, using an OMG cable. This is a USB-C to USB-C OMG cable. Now, the scariest thing about these OMG cables is that you can't see the difference between a traditional USB cable or Lightning cable and these OMG cables. They look exactly the same, but they have access points within them. They allow you to run scripts on devices such as Android devices and iOS devices. They also now are key loggers, so you can log keystrokes using these OMG cables. So in this first video, I'm going to show you how to rickroll a person using an OMG cable. I'll show you how to make a telephone call using an OMG cable and an Android device.
43-373-4444 from another phone.
And I'll show you how to take photographs using the OMG cable. It's extremely worrying and extremely scary what you can do with these cables. Never just trust any cable. Don't just plug in your devices into some random cable or into some random USB port, because you never know what's going to happen. Now, as always, what I'm demonstrating in this video is for educational purposes only. Do not go and use this information and get into trouble. Make sure that you use this information to make people aware of the vulnerabilities in the USB standard. Don't just trust any USB cable. Don't just trust any device. You need to act with security in mind. Don't just trust anyone. Don't just trust any device or cable. Now, before we continue, I'm really happy to announce that MG and Darren from Hak5 are sponsoring a giveaway. One person is going to win a $180 Hak5 gift card. That will allow you to purchase an OMG cable such as this or one of the others. So one person is going to win a $180 Hak5 gift card, but you need to use a secret code to enter this competition. So make sure that you watch the entire video so that you can get the secret code to enter the competition. In this example, I've plugged the cable into an Android phone. Nothing else is connected, but what I can do is on my iPhone, as an example, connect to an access point running within that cable. So in this example, I've configured it as the FBI network. You, when you set up this cable, can configure it with any kind of access point name that you want to, any kind of security. I've previously connected to this network, so the password has been stored. I'm automatically connected to the device. By default, it uses an address 192.168.4.1. I can connect to that network, and as you can see, I'm now connected to the OMG cable connected to this Android phone. So what I could do is load a script. I'll load a script from slot 1. There are various slots here. You can preload scripts ready to deploy, or you can simply copy and paste a script remotely onto the OMG cable. So before I do anything, notice I'm not touching the phone, not touching the cable. But what I'll do is press run, and hopefully the phone will do something. Notice it's opening up a URL, and I'll unmute the phone. We get the famous rickroll. So that's an example of opening up a website. Now, I can get it to do all kinds of things. I could get that to go to a malicious website if I wanted to. But in this example, let's try and get it to do something else. So let's run this script and see what it does.
Your account balance is too low.
So what I got it to do there is make a phone call. This phone has a SIM card in that doesn't have enough credit to make any phone calls. I need to top it up. It's just a top-up SIM card, doesn't have any credit on it, so it can't actually make the phone call. But notice it tries to dial the number, and I'll run that again.
Not be completed as your account balance is too low. To top up, purchase a 3 voucher and dial 444 from your 3 handset. 0843 373 4444 from another phone.
Okay, so it tried to make a phone call. Quite scary, that. Let's try one last test with an Android phone, and then I'll show you with iOS. So I'll load another script here. Press run. And what that just did was take a photo. So if I press here, notice it's just taken 2 photos. Run that again as an example. So run that. What it should do, hopefully, is take 2 photographs. And there you go. Just took 2 extra photographs. So that's quite worrying because this cable looks just like a normal USB-C to USB-C cable. But I can get it to do all kinds of malicious things. So let's do it with an iPad. Now what I'll do in this example is copy a script. Instead of loading a script, I'll simply copy a new script and I'll paste it in to the OMG cable. So I've connected my Mac to the OMG cable using the FBI network. I've opened up a browser to the OMG cable. I've pasted in the script. Now before I run it, I'll change this string so it doesn't go to the OMG website but to a YouTube page so that I can rickroll the person using this iPad. So I'll run the payload. And what you'll notice there is an ad is playing. And there you go. So I've been able to rickroll both an iPad as well as an Android phone using the OMG cable. Really scary what you can do with the OMG cable. Now, MG, the creator of the OMG cable, gave me the scripts to open up a web browser on Android as well as iOS. I created the call script as well as the take photo script. I did those very, very quickly in a short amount of time. So they're not perfect. They may not necessarily always work. If you're going to use them, you're probably going to want to fix them and iterate them and make them better. But that was sort of a quick test to see if I could get it to work, and I did. As always, please don't use the information that I'm sharing here for malicious purposes, but be aware of the issues of trusting cables. Don't just trust any cable from your friends or from some random stranger, because it could be an OMG cable such as this. Again, the only way to identify this as an OMG cable rather than a standard USB cable is by this little tag. So if I took that off, I wouldn't be able to differentiate between this cable and a standard USB cable. Now, in this video, I simply wanted to demonstrate some of the options with the OMG cable. I've put links to the scripts below this video if you want to try this yourself. Again, use it at your own risk. I'll cover the setup of the OMG cable in a separate video. I have discussed the setup of the OMG cable in a previous video, which I've linked here and below, but I'll do an updated version of that video. Process is very similar. The language used here is very similar to the Rubber Ducky language. I'll also create some additional videos on the Rubber Ducky language because some of you have asked for that. This video does cover some of the basics if you're interested in learning how to set up the Rubber Ducky as an example. Okay, so the secret code that you need is OMG Cable Hacks. Use the code OMG Cable Hacks to enter the competition using the link below. I want to wish you all the very best for the competition, but more importantly, all the very best for your career. Go out there and make a success of your life.